you ever hear that one about the orphan and the platypus? Funny stuff. Can't really remember.
I really do need that additional data. Any luck tracking down those sensors? Recent scans of the tree have suggested that a significant portion of the interior is liquefied. Obviously, some small percentage of its internal workings is always liquid to allow for the transfer of nutrients and so forth, but this? Well, I've never seen anything like it. If it continues to increase, I'm concerned the entire tree may collapse, and I'm also worried about other secondary effects. It's too soon to speculate. I'd very much like to see the additional data before I say more. I appreciate your confidence. The sooner I have all the available data, the sooner I can make an assessment. So you do? Wonderful. I'll just take these, and we'll see what they have to tell us. All right, we'll just upload the data. Give it a moment. And just another moment. It is working, isn't it? Ah, there it is. Relief. Now, let's see. This is... well, it's... oh my. It's a good thing you brought the biosensors to me when you did. Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that my suspicions were correct. There is something wrong with the tree. I will report my findings to MAST immediately with no small amount of satisfaction. The phrase, "I told you so," may even be uttered more than once. Well, from a certain point of view. In an, admittedly, somewhat selfish manner. The bad news, as it were, is that the internal composition of the tree is changing. In this particular case, the tree is now regularly emitting ultra-low frequency sound waves. They're nearly imperceptible now, but they're growing in strength. This is something we've never observed before. Depending on how large these waves grow, consequences for the city could be disastrous. I must consult with my colleagues in MAST at once. Thank you for your assistance. I hope these credits are adequate compensation.
director insisting on authenticity at all costs. But the extravagant gamble paid off, and the movie is poised to take the awards by storm.
I'm a student of history, which also makes me a student of war, schemes, and betrayal. Diplomacy will never die. The question is, will it be used in good faith? I used to work in interstellar affairs before I was dismissed, due to some of the differences I had with management. But I am not retired, not by a long shot. After all, I can do more when detached from the strings of bureaucracy. I do a lot of reading and take walks through the district. We don't have trees like this on the other systems. There's a calming presence about them, but that belies their inner strength. After all, neither you nor I could pull out the roots of a tree on our own. For while there is beauty above, everything that matters happens under the surface. It's grand, isn't it? Testament to humanity's ability to compromise and cooperate. Let's be honest. The treaty is nothing more than a carefully crafted artifice. If it's a testament to anything, it's mankind's ability to lie to itself. Sadly, yes. The war with the Freestar Collective hasn't ended. The director has merely called for an intermission and the audience has departed to the lobby. But behind the curtain, the stagehands at mast are busy preparing for the next act. Excellent. I do have something you can help me with. In my spare time, I like to collect plants. The rarer, the better, especially from Earth. One of my prized collections is an olive seed. I'd like you to plant this seed in the atrium, so that it may grow and be a symbol for peace. Incidentally, I did try, but the god had other ideas. Bad ideas, I'm sure, involving more bruises than I was willing to endure. But if you are the sneaky type, perhaps you can do it undetected. A lone olive tree growing in this garden of alien life would send a message. People might interpret it as a message from God, and truth be told, I'm counting on that to happen. Some might call it manipulation, but I like to think we're helping people choose what they need, rather than what they want. Thank you. I'll have a reward for you when you return.
Something you need, citizen? Oh, thanks.
Been a long time since I've been to Mars. Sol system doesn't get a lot of traffic. Maybe another time.
The trees here are quite beautiful. They remind us how important it is to slow down and take a breath.
Cool spacesuit.
Just tell me how many zeros I need to add to the offer.
I'm sorry, sir, but we can't sell to you. UC citizens only.
Ah, I think I understand. And the cost to put me down as a citizen would be what exactly?
Sir, bribery is a crime in the colonies.
Fine. Perhaps I'll just...
This space is a memorial to those lost during the Colony War. Your consideration is requested. Quiet is requested while on memorial grounds.
Then I realize my tank's sprung a leak. I'm stuck. And the only place close enough to land? Wait.
You're not suggesting.
Ptolemy 2, Terramorph Heaven. So, I sat down, grabbed the highest caliber weapon I've got, and start walking.
I used to be an actuary. Now look at me.
There are always about a million things to do, and I'm only one person. It's so overwhelming. Hey! Oh, you're not Carl. Sorry, I shouldn't assume. Maybe you go by Carl. You're just not the Carl I was waiting for. We're supposed to be investigating a power drain down here. People have been reporting brownouts for a while, and Mass finally decided to follow up on it. I can't be in two places at once, and Carl isn't here. So I'm just trying to look inconspicuous. Co-worker of mine on this assignment with me, clearly not taking it seriously. Not really surprising. Most folks are fine with ignoring what goes on down here. We're trying to isolate a power drain, which looks like it's the result of a large amount of power being rerouted through various subsystems. But it's kind of a two-person job. Someone needs to find the junction boxes associated with those subsystems and power them down. The other person needs to monitor the system remotely. It's pretty simple, really, and relatively safe. Only a small chance of electrocution. Well, since you're here and Carl isn't, and I really want to get this solved, I will take you up on that. What I need is very technical. I can talk you through it remotely. I'm gonna head to the monitoring station. The first box we're looking for is over near UC Surplus. You know, Antonio's place. I can contact you once you get there. I've got limited resources. I try not to turn anyone away just because they're light on credits. We're doing the best we can here. That's all we can ever do. Don't have much of a choice. Can't afford to pay staff, and while I've got a few volunteers from the community, I can only ask so much of them. We've scraped by for a good long while now, and we'll continue to do so. Don't you worry. Funny story about that. You know, when people first arrived on Jemison, they dismantled the colony ship and used the parts to establish a place to live. Over time, they built out, and up, and up, and after long enough, they started to forget about the people and the things still down here. The walls and the ceiling have changed, but this place still uses equipment from that old ship. And it's here because not everyone in New Atlantis can afford Reliant Medical. We're no Reliant Medical down here, but if you've got credits, I might have something for you.
Saw your ship come in. Nice ride.
Hey, can you hear me? I think this is working. I only have a general view of things, but you should be near the first junction box. Look for it mounted on the wall. When you find it, open it up and flip the big switch. That's it. Great job. So that tripped the secondary breaker, and that goes to... Oh wow, really? They wired it like that? Jeez, okay. Okay, got it. Next one is way down past Jake's, and maybe up a story or two? It's a bit of a hike. Sorry.
I got contacts all over. Stock may not be so reliable, but I got ways of getting things. Personally, I think daylight's overrated. I get by just fine. A lot of people will tell you it's the worst. One step above being homeless. They'll whine about how folks topside have it so much better. Me, I like it. More real down here. Topside, everyone's trying to show how civilized and rich they are. Oh, it's exhausting. But hey, to each their own. Look around. You tell me. You see it's a big organization. A lot of planets, a lot of people, a whole lot to keep track of. Sometimes they don't do such a good job of that. Sometimes stuff falls through the cracks, winds up collecting dust in some warehouse. But that's all right, because I, and by extension you, get to benefit. I make great deals on stuff in bulk, you get some low prices. Everyone wins. Take your time. I got all day. Watch your back out there.
That pilot exam's coming up. I've been studying so hard. I haven't seen the sunset in days. My last night was your last week. You won't find anything at Enric's. That place is where good selection goes to die. I'm working on it. Taking the UC Vanguard exams. Saving up for my own ship. You know how it works. It's just taking a little longer than I expected. Yeah, but I ain't getting any younger, and every day in the well is like 4 days topside. You want food? Go to Kay's. You want an attitude? Try Jake's. You want to feel empty inside? Get your bags and move in. Seriously though, this place is half doom and all gloom, which is precisely why I am leaving. Only because they're all a bunch of quitters whose only goal is to make it to the weekend. I got plans, I got ambition. All I need is a shot. See ya.
Mess with me and I'll serve you my famous knuckle sandwich. Scared, aren't ya? Best watch your pockets around me. Just saying. What do you want to know? You with security? Oh yeah? Maybe I'll hide my boot in your ass if you don't quit asking questions. That is, unless you're with security. In which case, I wasn't threatening you, that was just a joke, and no crime's been committed. I'm actually a very nice person. Hey, beat it!
junction box. This section isn't used very much these days, so may be a little harder to see. That's the one. Next one's not too far. Dead end, right down from Jake's. Right under that apartment they've been trying to sell. Good luck with that, right?
I lived on a spaceship.
Nice to meet you.
You should be near the next junction box. And if those squatters never cleared out, I would suggest avoiding eye contact. It should be fine. Another switch flipped, another lead to follow, and the lights in here just flickered too. The wiring is worse than I thought. I'm going to work on fixing that little issue while you find the next junction box. Looks like it's over near the Trade Authority. Okay, just find that and, maybe don't talk to anyone about it just yet.
I'm not gonna be stuck in this place for long. All I need is some breeze.
Okay, the final box I need you to deal with should be right around there. Unfortunately, I just realized you're in for a real tangle of cabling. Like 200 years of field attempts to rewire things. I tried to fix it 3 years back and was crying by the second day. Gave up on the third. Anyway, there should be a series of secondary breakers you need to deal with before you can access the junction box. I don't remember the order, but flip levers until all those circuits are powered down. Wow, you got it. Really well done. You saved me like a week of work. Why didn't you meet me at the monitoring station, near where we met?
Hey there.
Private sector. Now that's where the real money's at.
Did I say thank you? Because thank you. There's no way I could have done that in a reasonable amount of time all by myself. Maybe in the short term, but overall it paid off. Thanks to your help, I was able to trace the power drain. I know where it's coming from. Unfortunately, the source is exactly where I was afraid it was. The Trade Authority. So that's something that I'll need to deal with. That'll be fun. If you want to tag along, I certainly wouldn't complain, but if not, then this is where we part ways. So thanks to you, we've got evidence that the Trade Authority is behind the power drain being reported down here. I don't know if you ever dealt with the Trade Authority, but Zoe is intimidating. I have to go in there, but I really don't want to. You think you'd be willing to go with me? Just make sure this doesn't go badly? I don't know. I feel like I'm the one who's going to wind up in trouble. Zoe's got a way of twisting things. Thanks. That means a lot. I can do the talking, I think. Just be ready for, well, anything.
Having a good one?
Been up there, huh? Space?
A visit from Mast. How delightful. You'll have to remind me of your name.
Even in the well, the trade authority continues to flourish. Oh, makes you sick, doesn't it? Because I've been here 3 times.
Yes, of course you are. And was it you were accusing me of with absolutely no evidence?
The power drain is coming from your building, Zoe. You and I both know it, and now I can prove it.
I'm sorry, what?
We traced the drain, checked the grid. It led us here. You can't talk your way out of this.
I'm going to ask you to wait here a moment. I'll be right back.
Okay, just be ready for anything. I don't know if she's going to come out of there with a gun or call in mercenaries or what.
Don't worry. Whatever happens, we're prepared to handle the situation.
I don't want this to turn out violent if we can avoid it, okay? Believe me, I really, really hope I am. But I'll tell you, people in my division tell stories about Zoe. She's got a lot of influence. Okay, you're probably right. Just need to breathe.
Sidonia is an industrial
Well,
town.
Miss Reyes, I
Fair tend to
apologize for not taking this matter more seriously. I assure you, I will eagerly assist in getting to the bottom of this.
No, you're not weaseling out of this. We got to the bottom of it. You are the bottom.
I appreciate your enthusiasm for your work, but I do a little more research before casting aspersions. Someone has indeed been using this location through which to route electrical power. It is not the Trade Authority. I've had my suspicions for a while, and have been keeping detailed notes, which I'm happy to share with you. For now, though, what do we do next?
Wait, what?
Oh, for heaven's sake. I presume you've been assisting Miss Reyes in tracking down this little problem. Well, clearly there's more work to be done. Why don't you continue the work you've been doing with an assurance that the Trade Authority will compensate you for your time? I'll coordinate things here with Miss Reyes. With Mast's access to the grid, we'll find out who did this soon enough. And why. Presumably, you're the one who's been doing the field work, so I believe you'll find there's another junction box out there in the well that needs your attention.
Okay, well, this is not how I saw this going. For the moment, let's assume this is all legitimate. I can sort out the details with Zoe. So why don't you go investigate the next junction box?
updates for any suspicious activity. Is that clear?
And Zoe's here too, if you hadn't guessed. We've agreed to work together on this. Once you throw the switch, we can direct you to the next junction box. That's it, thanks. Let's just take a look here. Okay, you're going to want to head for box 45A. It should be near Apex Electronics.
You can't possibly be serious. Are you looking at the same diagram I am? 47B is obviously the next one. It's on the same level. I appreciate that you've listened to reason. The junction box should be just nearby. We'll have this solved in short order.
Zoe, I know how to read. Ignore her. Head for box 45A, okay?
Oh, wow, that watch is super cool.
Jake's is a good place to meet contacts.
What's with the staring? You need something?
mask knows what she's talking about.
Oh, please.
I'm sure you can handle whatever challenge might be associated with reaching the box. You're doing great. And that was indeed the correct junction box. See that, Zoe?
Yes, fine. Let's move on.
Okay, just making sure you saw it. So, now things get interesting. I can't find the next spot on any of my current diagrams.
And I can begrudgingly confirm that she's reading them correctly. We've reached the conclusion that it must be somewhere on the surface, outside the well. Miss Reyes has suggested that this means it's somehow no longer her responsibility. I frankly don't care. I want to find this person.
And here's where I begrudgingly agree with Zoe. It's not technically my problem at this point, but I want to see where this trail leads. If you head topside, I'll pull the diagrams we'll need and contact you.
Be careful if you run into those ecliptic jerks. Fly around like they own settled systems. They like to use
Miss Reyes is still collecting the necessary diagrams and blueprints to accurately assess the situation. Before she returns, I'm going to make you an offer. Whatever you find at the end of this path, you bring it to me first. I'll be certain that Mast gets what it needs, but I trade in valuable information. I suspect you're going to find some. I guarantee you the Trade Authority will pay well. Consider that as you head towards the residential district. We can't pinpoint the source yet, but it's somewhere over there.
I've flown across most of the settled systems in all manners of spacecraft, and yet I still get sick on the gnat.
Nice day for a picnic.
That your ship that landed not too long ago? Sure is something.
Well, that's unexpected. Powering down that junction doesn't show any other connections.
Clearly, the source must be inside that residential tower.
Yeah, that would make sense. You know, I think I remember seeing a report about power problems on one of the upper floors. I bet it's related. See if you can get up there.
I haven't seen a lock picked that easily since I traveled with Vladimir's soul.
Gagarin.
Really?
Another day, another shift.
Ever wonder how the Crimson Fleet seems to be everywhere? It's because they have no outposts everywhere. There were so many facilities abandoned after the Colony War, the pirates used them as forward operating bases, all over the settled systems.
Thanks for all that work. You can give me what you found now. So you tracked it down. You've got something to show for it? Great. I'll get this back to Mass for analysis. I'm not stupid. I know Zoe probably made you an offer. I appreciate that you didn't take it. And I'm really glad we got to work together on this. So, someone thought they could hack into Galabank's system. In fact, looks like maybe they did. Still want to claim you had nothing to do with this, Zoe?
My dear, why in the world would I want to break the law? And Galbank, no less. I do quite enough business with them as it is.
All right. Well, I'll have some people look over this. Maybe they'll be in touch.
I very much doubt that.
See you around.
It's cliche, but it's true. Everything has a price. And whatever it may be, I can afford it.
Is there a type of weapon Combatech won't make?
Wonder where this will all lead.
I have a feeling today's going to be a great day. Don't you agree?
Huh. Well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? I hadn't expected to run into you again. Indeed I am. The success of my previous venture, with which you so kindly assisted, has been brought to the attention of Mast. There is growing concern. Oh my. A bit of an unintentional pun, isn't that? Well, concern that things are going to get worse. The data we gathered points to a definitive trend. The vibrations coming from this tree are increasing in strength and frequency. Because we've never seen this before, not on this scale, we have absolutely no idea what the upper limit is. We don't know when or even if this will stop. It's imperceptible by normal human standards now, but given time. While I hesitate to speculate on the possibilities, well, none of them are good. Yes, and not just humans. All organic life will be affected. Low-frequency vibrations are not uncommon in this species. The vibrations help disperse nutrients throughout the tree. However, normally the vibrations are imperceptible. If the vibrations continue to increase in frequency and strength, prolonged exposure could lead to harmful and potentially deadly side effects. It's imperative we find a way to correct this. There is data regarding other, younger members of the species. Unfortunately, there are some, shall we say, personal issues with acquiring it. Personnel issues, if you understand me. What? No, that is ridiculous. I am a professional. One of the other researchers in MAST, Emilio Hadek, has research I believe could be vital to my work here. He and I don't see eye to eye, and so far he's refused to turn it over to me. I'm hoping that if someone else were to ask, he might be more inclined to relinquish it. What do you say? Oh, thank you. Last I knew, he was on a field assignment somewhere near the outskirts of the city. Perhaps it's best if you don't mention my name in the process?
Of all the assignments they could have given me. Could you stand a little to the left? I think you're blocking my readings. Oh, it's important research. I won't bore you with the technical details, but it's critical that I get this done. Trees? I see what's going on here. You're working with Kelton, aren't you? Nice try, but it's not happening. No. No way. Kelton is actively ruining my career. There's no chance that I'm helping him with anything. Whatever this thing is he's on about, he's just doing it to make himself look good with the higher-ups. I'm not helping him with that. Kelton screwed me over good. Probably ruined my chances for advancing in MAST. I'm not going to forgive that, ever. Right. Of course, we're all in danger. Trees are involved after all. He really won't let this go, will he? Maybe I can make this work in my favor. Okay, you know what? I'll hand over the data. But I'm only going to do so after you've helped me secure a better position in MAST. Oh, don't worry. You're just going to erase some files for me. Make sure I look good next time promotions get passed around. Well, then I guess we don't have anything else to discuss, and Kelton can just forget about getting his hands on the data. See you around. Changed your mind, did you? Willing to help me get a promotion? Wait, really? Wow. Okay. Okay.
I'll follow your lead. But I wish handling our tree issue didn't involve using illegal methods to get the job done.
I've gotten a few bad performance evaluations in the last couple of years. Totally unjustified, incredibly unfair. I found a backdoor into the mass network so I could make some changes to my personnel file. But it turns out the chief engineer knows what she's doing. The only way to get access is from the terminal in her apartment, which is kind of locked. Sorry, that's not on the table. There is, and I already explained exactly what it is. Kelton already made this personal, you know. I'm just fixing it. If that's true, seems like a good reason to hold on to it until I've got what I need. Enough. The deal is the deal. You get Kelton's stupid data when I know that the files have been wiped from the chief engineer's terminal. Just get in, access her terminal, delete the files, and get out. Really simple. Oh, don't worry about it. It's just, pretty much everything in my personnel file. Most of it is fine, of course. I'm good at what I do. I just received a few very unfair reviews recently, and I figure, why not start over completely? Not much experience with government bureaucracy, huh? The mass network is running off hardware that is decades old. They don't upgrade anything unless it's absolutely necessary. This will just be one entry in a long list of mild annoyances that aren't worth following up on. It's kind of amazing, really. Between you and me, as little as possible. I'm just kidding, of course. I work really, really hard at my job. Studied in computational bioscience, did some time in agrogenetics. These days, I just help out wherever I can. Waiting for a good opportunity. Maybe an opening in administration. You know how it goes.
Seems like the Crimson Fleet is everywhere these days, spreading like a virus through the settled systems.
I tried to tell my colleagues that botany was important. I tried to warn them. That man is a disgrace to his profession. His theories are drivel, his methods are sloppy, and his conclusions are, at best, highly questionable. He is a very poor scientist. I saw fit to point this out when approached for his most recent personnel evaluation. He somehow got wind of it and has taken it very badly. My feelings precisely. The work and the results should be more important than our egos. If only we all felt that way. Well, I'm afraid that's hard to say. Ultra-low frequency waves are a rare phenomenon. If they continue to increase, they might cause disturbances in the equilibrium of the city's residents. Headaches, nausea, that sort of thing. Eventually, the resulting vibrations could have effects not dissimilar to seismic activity. Nearby structures might be at risk. I really do hope we can find a solution soon. I hope this isn't asking too much of you.